years. So sad. All right, here we go. Beautiful. All right, so welcome, guys. Tonight is a bittersweet. It's our last One Team University of the series, and I am really, really excited for who was chosen to be the finale of this beautiful series. It really has been so impactful. We've had incredible leaders go above and beyond and really just truly live that one team motto and show up to just give back to this beautiful company that we all love. True story, going to the Christmas party the other night, we drove by the big Isagenix building. It was all aglow on the freeway and dark. It's like this, you guys aren't here in Arizona, but it's just a dark sky. And then you drive by the corporate building at nighttime, and it's just beautiful, all lit up, Isagenix, and you can't help but have your heart just go, just gratitude, right? Gratitude for what we have and what we're doing. I can see a lot of nods. So I'll take a picture and post it on my wall this week for those that have not experienced that. All right. So just really quickly, I am keeping you guys on mute so we have a clear line. If you click on speaker view, you can see just the one beautiful speaker. If you have it on gallery, then you can kind of see everybody like the Brady Bunch. All right. Oh, I'm going to catch you. There we go. Mute. There we go. All right. Who's ready? Who's ready? Because I'm ready. Tonight, we have the honor of having the incredible Tanya Kirkpatrick on our One Team University. As you look into, different companies and in this industry, you don't see this very often where leaders are coming together with this one team spirit to just give back. It doesn't happen very often, but it's happening all the time in Isagenix. It's one of the reasons why I love this company and their values. We are so grateful to have this opportunity to learn from Tanya and to learn from what she's experienced. And I want to just take a moment, if it's okay with you guys, to brag about her. Is that okay? I know she doesn't love this all the time, but but you have to sit in gratitude for what she's been able to accomplish. And I know that her greatest accomplishment is her kids. She has 4 beautiful children. And if you haven't met her husband, Jeremy, he is an incredible partner and friend of hers. And I respect and love him so much for what he's done for us personally. Tanya credits her success to God, serving people and helping them step into their best selves. Who wants to be a part of that? Okay, stepping into your best self and lifting others, serving others. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Really quickly, I'm going to share some of her Isagenix accolades that are very impressive. She was the 163rd Isagenix Millionaire, and she earned the President's Quest, 2 ISA Derbies, Woman of the Year, Shooting Star, top growth in the company. She is a member of the FAB for 2017. She was Couple of the Year with Jeremy for 2018 and was voted the most consistent business in 2018 for over 5 years of business. And I love what she says here about her joy of spending her days vision casting with people and inviting them to dream again. How many of us can relate to that, about that lack of dreaming? We talk about it all the time, that we stopped dreaming. And one of the greatest things we can do in this company is help others dream again. So I love, Tanya, if you can talk more about that tonight. And she is going to spend some time tonight talking about marketing and campaigning, something that we can all apply into our businesses and learn from. So get out your notebooks, get out your pens and paper. Make sure everybody's locked out of the room, you're hiding in your closet, wherever you have to be to really focus and pay attention. So grateful, Tanya, for you to be here. 14-star Platinum, 14-star Crystal Executive, and a dear friend of mine who has answered the call many times when I just needed to vent, cry, and get some love. And so welcome, Tanya.
Thank you, and I'm so honored. Thank you so much. Not only does Trish have like the mass great flow going on, but she has such an electric, just very contagious personality. We had the privilege of running hard and fast alongside of each other. I was apart for just a short time before Trisha and her hubby got started, and it was really cool to see God intricately work in their life. And I just wanted to share my gratitude for being a part of the call tonight. Thank you to each and every one of you that took time away from your families and maybe bedtime routines to be on tonight. I'm very honored to be a part of the call. And my hope for each one of you is to really know that there is an intention that needs to come with this opportunity. And I want you to really think about, as we're looking and leaning into the upcoming of 2019, to think about the intention that you have. And any business has to have a business plan. And yet so many of us will come into Isagenix, we have this epic product experience, and we are kind of just like, I'm aiming with our eyes closed, and we're doing power posts, and we're posting in product pages, and some of us are hosting events. And I want to talk to you a little bit about mindset before I dive into some meat and potatoes. I want you guys to know you're seeing this for the very first time. I've never trained on this, and I'm really passionate about giving you visuals alongside the training. So I have a slideshow presentation I will be talking to you about. When we just currently went and did an event with Eric Worre, GoPro Mastery, he opened the event and it was so incredibly powerful that I wanted to share some of my takeaways from that. He talked about, you know, what the real secret to this business is and really what that looks like. And I've fallen short in some of these areas, so I just want to be completely transparent because we can get frustrated. We can maybe be feeling like less than, or maybe get into comparison. We can maybe say, hey, I wish, you know, there was an event near me. I just, you know, I live in a place where there's no events. You could potentially be saying, I'm a part of Isagenix for a really long time, and I'm just looking for this next wow product. You could potentially be saying, I wish I had a bigger team, nobody's getting it. And you're really deflecting and putting everything out there. And when he was talking about all the things that really make this opportunity great, he said, you know, yes, you need to have events. Yes, you need to have innovation in your company. Yes, you want to, you know, have a team that's growing, and all those things are intricately a part of it. Yes, you want to be attending events. Yes, you want to be teaching and training, and you want to actually be in the do. But so many of us, myself included, at times have gotten caught up in the minutia of complaining, blaming, and being in a place of just frustration and stuck. So if that's you tonight, come on. I just invite you to be real with me and really lean in and look at this opportunity from a fresh perspective. It's you. Plain and simple. And I really just appreciated him being such an advocate for our industry. It's crazy because over 20,000 jobs are going to be lost to automation in the next coming years. And we have something that really serves people well. And we also have a product line that makes an impact physically and financially. And so I want to just get our minds straight tonight. I want to really get into a place of gratitude as I begin to really share with you strategy for 2019. So I'm going to go in really quickly and share my, can you guys all see that? Can I get a wave of heads? Yes? Okay, right on. So I'm going to get in here really quick. Let's see here. We just need to pull this down a little. Slideshow, we're going to play from the start. Okay, so 2019 strategy and campaigns. And if you are someone who's just been willy-nilly in your business, I want to invite you to get a plan of attack. And the first thing that you're going to need is a calendar. So if you're one of those people that has to dot all your I's and cross all your T's, I want to invite you along to find what works for you and share it. Share what you're finding out there on your business pages and things of that nature. Campaigns are a thing that you do on top of your daily method of operation that cause you to do more. I really want you to think about strategizing where your goals are, and not only where your own goals are, we talked about this at our Mastermind Monday this last week, but where your team's goals are, where are your leaders' goals. Every single vision board that I do at the beginning of the year not only has my own personal goals, but it also has the goals of our team. How many executives are we going to rank advance? What is our next rank advancement? How many lives would we like to make an impact with every month? And I want you to know that the message is still the same, the delivery is changing, and you need to be open to learning different ways to deliver the message. So the other reason why we build strategy and we do campaigns is because we want to build baskets. This is really important as we're all growing and serving everybody, that you're thinking about, how can I build the next basket? I always carry a sign in my office to remind me. I don't know if you guys can see this. It says open. I always want to ask myself, am I open for business? There have been seasons I've done this really well, and other seasons I scratch my head and ask myself, why was I not showing up consistently? And it was for nothing more than a lack of intention, not desire, and a lack of planning poorly. And so I really want to encourage you to take a look at this, or rather a lack of planning well. I was planning poorly. And start to ask yourself, are you doing this in a way that you're building baskets and you're really building content for that? Are you building awareness of Isagenix and what you're a part of? When someone thinks of Tanya Kirkpatrick, I want them to think health and wellness, service, my faith, my family, value, that we're always offering value. So are you bringing awareness to what it is that you're actually doing? And I want to encourage you, things have shifted a bit, but I also want to encourage you not to have Isagenix all over your social media 24/7 like a garage sale. Nobody is attracted to that, and you want to think about attraction marketing. I'm going to be sharing some tools for you as you are looking at the shift taking place in the industry, in marketing in general, and really thinking, how am I adding value? How are you adding value to your personal pages on your social media? How are you adding value to your product pages? Are you just simply being someone who's a taker and not actually giving value, teaching and training about the products? What does that look like? Not only for yourself, but also the people that are a part of those pages, because we build as one team. These campaigns and strategy are also to help other people problem solve. And not only people that have yet to say yes to Isagenix, but also people who are looking for a solution, both physically and financially. These are people that potentially have yet to join you and your mission. These strategies and campaigns are also to reinforce behavior. I want you to think about, if you're finding that people aren't using the IsaLife app, what kind of a campaign or strategy could you bring awareness around that app? It's something that allows you to enroll people within 60 seconds flat. It's super simple, and you can use from your handheld device. So when people are asking about why the strategy and why the intention, it's for all of these things, and also to keep it new and fresh. Events, you should have strategies and campaigns around events. Eric talked about being able to have a day before the event, to have kind of like a meeting before the meeting, to really set the stage, prepare your team, prepare your hearts for what you're going to be learning, and potentially even a meeting after, so right before everybody flies out. Having the opportunity to earn some time with everybody, I think, is really great. And you can also run some campaigns around that. Maybe a special opportunity to have a dinner. I know that Laura Stevens does a really great executive dinner. I know Hayden and M. Vavra do that too. We talk in great length about it, and really allowing people to feel that ultra special as you're really giving them something to campaign and work for. This was something I thought was really fun. He talked about thinking about this business, and any business, right? You can get it like you're a rat on a wheel. You're going into the office, and a lot of people actually work pretty full-time as they're a part of Isagenix. For those of you who don't, sometimes it's hard to work for yourself, let's just be honest, to get out of bed, inspire yourself, and get running. So we talked about being able to think about when you have a toddler at home. For those of you who don't have a toddler, think of someone who does that you know. You can get a rattle out or a little dolly, and you're shaking it in front of them, and they get super excited. And within an hour or two, they're bored and they're ready for the next thing. It's important for us to keep not only our teams excited, but us excited, and to reignite that. And I want you to think about that we can do this in our product pages as well. We just got through with a really awesome challenge. Now we're in the middle of a bedtime belly buster challenge, giveaways, prizes. And what I noted is, as I was going live in the pages doing giveaways, a lot of people were not aware that we offer pain cream, and we have sleep spray, and all of what these products do, because simply we stopped educating. And so I want to encourage you, if that's something that you have stopped doing, that you need to get back to the basics of really being an advocate and being the brand ambassador for who you are and this opportunity as a leader and as an ambassador for Isagenix. Another one of the reasons why you want to do team building campaigning is allowing your team to hone in their skills, to really get sharp with this. You know, we were talking about our 30 to 60 second story, our elevator pitch, and how we used to just hound this in when we were very first getting started. Trisha, I see you shaking your head. And are we teaching the fundamentals, or are we just assuming? Are we making this? Are we this era of assumption? Are we leaving a legacy of assumption, or are we leaving a legacy of learning and continually teaching? And I really feel that that's something we all need to get back to. So as we're thinking about 2019, teaching the basics, I know Amanda is brilliant at this. She just bite-sized down the back of the back office, Amanda Larson, and has started to break down and make teaching videos so that she can maximize her time with minimal effort as she is growing rapidly in the company. Share your experiences over and over again. I have fallen guilty at times of being like, I'm sick of hearing my own self-talk. I'm sick of my story. And I want to encourage you, if you're sick of your story, create a new one. And this is really key. I want you to hear me say this. I am going to be doing this right alongside of you. In January, I'm going to be hitting the system exactly like I did in the very beginning. I'm going to be doing, weeks of 2-day back-to-back cleanse days. I'm going to be posting on my social media in a day of a life of Tanya Kirkpatrick, and I want to encourage you guys to do the same. One of the biggest takeaways from this event that I heard over and over again, I've never heard it from anyone else before, was people will follow your feet, they don't follow your lips. And that was something that I was like, oh man, this is like real. I loved every bit of it. So I want to encourage you about what you could look at for a 12-month strategy. I failed forward at this last year. We created a group page. I was super excited. We began to create graphics and campaigning, and I had leaders that came to me and they said they were super fired up. And the one thing that I failed at is I didn't give people assignments. I felt frustrated. I was doing all the work, I was creating all the graphics, and I didn't feel like I had the buy-in, even though they came to me and approached me to do the campaign. So I am picking 5 captains. I'm not picking all of our executives. I'm picking 5 people who are hungry, who've agreed to really link arms and do some of the work. Because I don't want to have someone that just has lip service. I want to follow someone's feet. And I don't want to be the person necessarily leading the deal. I want to be a part of a collaboration. So think of your captains. Who do you have? And maybe some of you that are on the call tonight have 3 people that you've enrolled so far. That's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. When I very first started Isagenix, one of my very first business strategy meetings was myself, a softball mom, one of my friends from ministry, and her best friend sitting around my kitchen table. Start right where you are. It doesn't have to be fancy. You simply have to start. And so I wanted you to begin to think, and I'm going to teach you tonight how to go about this in bite-sized chunks so you can wrap your head around it. I also want you to know that I'm going to share some strategies with you tonight. And I don't expect you to put all of them or implement all of them, but what I do expect you to do is take bite-sized chunk pieces that you can implement and leave the rest. You might say, oh my goodness, that looks crazy, you're moving fast, because I'm going to break down and really show you how I'm putting this into action. And you might say that this isn't for you. I remember when Rachel Thomas first started sharing Evernote, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. And then it was time for us to go on the President's Quest. I was going to leave the team for about 7 days. I didn't know how much internet service I would have. And I literally sat in my pajamas in my office for 3 days and dumped my entire head into Evernote. I compiled this and organized it so everything was easy for the team to find and that they could answer each other's questions while I was away. I want you to know that I didn't learn because someone taught me. Rachel gave me the tool and I unpacked it through YouTube University. I unpacked it through looking up Pinterest and watching other people's videos on teaching me how to use Evernote. Tonight I used Evernote by sending my bio over to Trisha. And so I still use Evernote. It's a tool in my tool belt. And you don't need to overthink it. If you're one of those people that are like, oh my gosh, here goes another something, like I can't do it. I've heard leaders actually badmouth different tools in the industry, and it's really unfortunate because what that says is that they feel ill-equipped and they haven't taken the time to learn it. And so don't badmouth a tool that maybe potentially the people you're speaking with, that could be the key that unlocks this opportunity for them because they're searching for a tool to make it all make sense and get themselves organized. Maybe you're someone who writes things down. Maybe you're a planner person. If you're like me, I have to write things down in a planner. I use Google Calendar to organize my life. I invite my family to it. I invite my prospects to our meetings. People know I'm serious because before I get off the phone with them, I'll say, can you please text me your email right now because I'm going to send you a calendar invite. It will remind you about 45 minutes before our call or our meeting in person. And they are so taken with the fact that I treat this like the opportunity that it is. I am also going to talk to you tonight about Trello. I thank God for Amanda Larson. She brought this into my life, and it was in a time where I was looking for, again, the additional tool. You might say it's for you. You might say it's not for you. And for those of you that it's not for you, I just want to ask that you have grace in this moment because I'm going to teach you some things in this, a master of a tool that has really given me an opportunity because I'm such a visual person. So we're going to begin simply with mapping out social media, not only on your personal social media, but also out in the product pages for awareness. So I want you to look at this. It's holidayinsights.com. And I simply typed in January 2019 daily holidays, special and wacky days. I wanted to really get some ideas because everybody is like, I don't know what to post about. I don't know what to write about. And as I was sitting with a leader today, Kelly Ingleby, she's like, Tanya, I can think of products that go with almost every single one of these. Like it could be that you could talk about in the product pages, but also in your personal social media as well as the business pages. Thinking about national, let's see here, some of the fun ones that we have in here. Old Rock Day. You can click on them and kind of get some insight to them. You could do some Facebook funny lives about them, also offering some insight. There was Houseplant Appreciation Day. Our 19-year-old absolutely loves houseplants. And so as I'm making these campaigns, as I'm looking to the calendar, this is a place for you to get some creativity. And for all my creative nerds out there, I want to see your hands up. Did this just be like, oh my gosh, that's going to give me some really fun content? Bubble Bath Day. How could you put that into Cleanse Day? How do you love to cleanse the toxins and just like finish out your day with self-care? So I want you to think about what does this look like. Down on the number 13, January 13th, International Skeptics Day. Do you think that maybe would be a fun Facebook Live video talking about all the skeptics in your life? Have they watched you just have epic success, both physically and financially, and you just want to like grab your head and bang it? For those of you who are like, my closest friends are driving me nuts, I have gotten it all from you take pictures with your fancy handbags. I want y'all to know my fancy handbags when I very first started Isagenix. I bought at TJ Maxx. Yes, I did. And I still shop there and I love it 150%. So it doesn't have to be fancy. And at the end of the day, we just enrolled some of our closest friends who gave us so much crap because they hit rock bottom in their health. And I want you to know I love them dearly. I love them dearly. And I'm so excited and I celebrate it. So have fun with this and really think to yourself, how can you change it up and have some fun with intention as we go into the calendaring? So you heard me talk about it a little bit before. I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to go into Trello. This is January 2019. I'm going to show you how I'm going to build out the entire 12-month year. And then we're going to talk about campaigns that you can utilize and why it's so important to think ahead and be proactive instead of reactive. I want to see over in the chat right now, how many of you feel like you've been having a blindfold on aiming and not knowing what your KPIs are, what your things that you should be doing every day, you're campaigning, or you're waiting for somebody else to do it for you. I don't see anybody in the chat, so you guys must have everything completely organized and you're feeling like totally fired up. That's awesome. I give you guys massive props. Okay, so I've got Amanda, I've got Latoya, Carolyn, Joanne. Thank you guys for your honesty. I really appreciate it. I'm going to share my screen again and we're going to go live into Trello. Let me hop in here really quick. I'm going to actually go in this and get out of the slideshow. Here we go. And then we're going to go in and go into the strategy. Can you guys see this Trello board okay? Do you see the Trello board? No? Okay, let me stop the share and I'm going to reshare it again. Here we go. Okay, can everybody see the Trello board now? Okay, awesome. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I've planned this out. Every single one of these columns, this is all of January, and if you scroll down at the very top of it, I'm going to show you how I've actually taken a picture and what this looks like, why it's visually appealing to me, and why I can wrap my head around it. So for January, I went through all of January. I haven't put the fun, wacky holidays and things like that in. Right here, it says campaign ideas. So when we go, we're taking 5 of us strategically. We're going to go to True Foods in Scottsdale that has an actual workroom. And I'm going to put big stickies up all over the room. And me and 5 leaders, my husband Jeremy and my executive assistant, are going to we're not leaving that room until this is done. And what's cool is that you can share this entire Trello board. So what you do, everyone can benefit from. So I've got January up here. Obviously, Tuesday, January 1st is New Year's Day. And then as you're scrolling down, on Thursday, January 7th, it's Get to Know Your Customers Day. Do you think that you could potentially do a campaign around that? I would say absolutely. We'll talk about some fun campaigns for it. Sunday, January 20th, is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So think about how you could do this. If you were to come over to February, I'm going to just show you. I'm going to click on Thursday, February the 14th. And if I were to go in and add a new tab, I'm going to go through and find in this new tab Valentine's Day. And you guys may think, oh my gosh, this is so silly. Why is she going and finding an image for it? But the reality of it is I want to be able to have a picture as I'm going through and have that visual that I can identify. Oh, that's right. This is Valentine's Day. Are you guys back and seeing the Trello board? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go through and I'm hitting this little paper clip and I'm going to pull the picture right from my computer, and I just saved it in here. So I'm going to pull this over a little so I can see it. Let's see where my Valentine's one went. I wanted you guys just to be able to see how you put the photo at the top. So let's try that again and make sure I grabbed the photo. Go back to computer. I'm looking for my Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, we're gonna try it again. I want to do this in real time so you guys can see what it looks like. So we'll grab this and save it to downloads, come back. You can see like it is, you're learning and it's frustrating as you're learning. So I'm grabbing this photo. It's gonna come in here and now it's gonna go at the top of that screen. So now when I come back out of that, and I look down at February 14th, and now it says Happy Valentine's Day. So it's just this beautiful visual. What you can also do in here is underneath the campaigns that you have at the very top. So I have campaign ideas. I'm actually gonna go ahead and add another card. And in this card that I'll do in this, I'm gonna actually put in here, let's say I wanted to do a full week, or I want to give myself a snapshot of something else. So let's just say I'm going to put in a fake holiday. So Happy Me Day. That's all that you do to add the card to it. It's not anything crazy. So I wanted to give you guys some visuals of it. You can archive it. You could move this over to another one of your Trello boards. And again, it's going to go January, February, March, April. The really cool part about this is you can take this card and move it over. You can duplicate it. Amanda Larson has taught me so much. I've also gone into YouTube University. I've gone into Pinterest to learn this. And so I really want to encourage you. Here's what's so cool is that you can share this with your entire team. So I'm not going to do all of the work, but I'm going to absolutely help and edify and do this. And here's what I want you guys to know. You can also use this for planning out your social media. Are you kidding me? So you can make this before you do your entire year of planning out for your campaigns and copy the entire board and then plan out your writing of your content. I see you, Trisha. I know. I'm like, this is so awesome. For the nerds that are like nerding out, this would be so cool. And so the really awesome part about this is that I was able to go in and plan out like my December for my Instagram. So let me go really quickly to the December Instagram for my social media. And if you notice, these are all red. So I had a theme going. As you are like doing your social media, think about your themes, think about presets, think about your brand. And for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, I can't even breathe right now, I'm like breaking out in hives. You don't have to be this strategic, but I want to ask you, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to live a life of freedom, and what will that look like for you? So getting back to your strategy, your first board of the month, I wanted to do this for April. So you would go in here, you're going to go back to Google and type in, let's see here, April 2019 calendar. I like the really clean one. I'm kind of ridiculous like that, and I wanted them all to match. Let's see, and I didn't want any of them to have the actual, whatever you call it, on them, all of the different holidays. I just wanted to look at that and see a clean slate. You guys will have your idiosyncrasies of how things work. I'm going to type in April, and I'm going to add the card. Click on the card and go back in. I'm going to hit the little paper clip, go to my computer, and I'm going to find April 2019 and upload it to this, exit out of it, and now you see my April, which I'm going to have to go find the one that matches because that one doesn't. But do you see what I'm saying? This is giving you flow. When you're planning events, you can now see, oh, this is Happy New Year. I can now put NYKO in all this calendar, so I know this is when NYKO is. This is when our next team event is. This is when we're going to all run a 5K. Start making plans, because we used to, and Trisha can attest to this, at the very beginning, we used to be like, yeah, we're going to go like do goat yoga together, and we rocked it out, and we did hikes together, and we were really community driven. This is important. You can no longer say that you're building a business with Isagenix and do it with your eyes closed with a post and a prayer. You have to set the intention. Otherwise, you will be left behind, and I just need you guys to hear me say that. There are people out there that are doing it better, and they're having success faster, and the reason being is because they are setting the intention. So I'm going to stop the share there. I'm going to go back in and actually share my slideshow presentation. So let's get back to that. We are now going to be, can everybody see that okay? Okay, awesome. We're going to play from the start over here. I'm going to click through until we get in. Here we are. So we just talked about the crazy holidays. So here are getting into campaigns, and I want you guys to have some fun with this and really think about how you could do this. Have a campaign around converting your entire home into an Isagenix home, meaning you're going through the catalog. If you have a guest bathroom, you're putting in the Isagenix hand cream. Next to your bed, you've got the sleep spray. And you are talking about it, and here's the thing that I want you to know that's so important with campaigns. You need to give your team enough time to plan and prepare. You need to arm them. The captain doesn't send their army into battle without gear, without properly equipping them, without giving them guidelines and a foundational framework for success. So make sure, because I have a tendency, and the team that's on here will tell you, I get so excited, I just start talking about the end result, and I failed like the really important stuff of equipping them, because I see the vision in my head when my eyes are closed and I'm going to bed at night, and they're like, can you catch me up? I'm not quite following. So if you were planning out your 2019 strategy and visually putting it in front of you, then I want you to think about having a time where you invite your entire Isagenix team to convert their house into an Isagenix home. You could do this in your product page and have some fun with it and say, did you know this is what we offer in your own Freedom Wholesale wellness superstore called Isagenix? I personally would rather shop from my own store, as Cindy Hedges says, than have to worry about going to Walmart and buying things that we already have in our own Isagenix superstore. So think about converting your home into an Isagenix home. Prospect by occupation. Think about different holidays as you're going through all the wacky holidays of the year. What are some days that you, or a week that you could say, I'm going to prospect nurses this week. I'm going to go out with and set the intention. I'm going to ask on my social media for referrals of people who know that are nursing, who maybe are night shift nurses. They work long hours. They're exhausted. They carry extra, visceral fat happening, whatever it is, and have fun with it. Reward your referrals and let people know that you are going to reward them for that as well, and how important that would be. And I want you to think about maybe firemen. Think about who in your life that you know that's a fireman, who they give up so much. They're in the heart of service. Anyone that's in the heart of service. What is their industry? And you might broaden it. Instead of, let me just think about nurses, you might say, who do you know that's in the line of service? Because they're always putting the oxygen mask on everybody else and they fail to put it on themselves. I loved this graphic, you guys. I was dying. A one-day recruiting marathon. This is where you have either, in your business page, you've got a thread and it's blowing up, and every time that somebody has someone else who is, changed their life, made a decision for Isagenix, you're in that chat and it's blowing up. It might be a Marco Polo. It's free. Everybody should have it on their phone. It's great for coaching and downloading information with brand new people, but a one-day recruiting marathon. You can also do this where you invite people over and they come to your house. So you've got your team over, it's game on, you have some stickies around, and you guys are having a race at who can have the most conversations, contact, and you're literally, tallying, marking who's doing some recruiting and some enrollments. This is super fun and everybody loves a challenge. And it's so crazy. When you have that electric energy and you surround yourself, I know today, even at the coffee shop, Kelly and I were just, really, it's funny. She's gotten into like action and she's spurring me to get into a different kind of uncomfortable action. And we've really had a great time with it. So get together. Don't do it from your computer by yourself. You could also think about doing this like as a progressive dinner opportunity, meaning it wouldn't be necessarily a recruiting marathon, but it would be how many contacts could you get? So everybody meets at our house and we're gonna go somewhere and have appetizers. We're gonna go somewhere else and have dinner, and then we're gonna go somewhere else and have dessert. And the team that comes up with the most contacts wins. And you could have like a fun trophy. You could do like a date night for dinner for two, whatever that looks like, but having fun with your team. This is some things. I'm a red predominantly, and so I have to work at the fun factor. I really miss it, and I really enjoy this business so much more when we have that facet a part of it. So it doesn't have to cost you money. It could be something super simple. You guys could go have frozen yogurt, then you could go have some appetizers. It's not something that's crazy, but practice your 30-second story and your elevator pitch. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some mad tips for Facebook right now. You may be sitting there and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, Facebook's like, it's a thing of the past. It's not. Actually, right now, currently, Facebook is in a major square off with YouTube for video content. And what we heard from an incredible speaker when we were at this GoPro event was, for 5 to 10 minutes before you go live, go out and interact with people. Go love posts. Go interact in your groups. Here's the other part too. Anytime that any social media platform offers things, you need to use them. So most people are going through and they're liking and they're liking and they're liking and they're liking. Go through and love everything. So you hold your friend down or your finger down on the like button and you scroll up to the heart, and then you go through and love everything. Love people's profile pictures. Genuinely interact and be intentional with this. It doesn't take a lot of time. And what I want to encourage you guys is to grab 25 people that you currently would love to have a part of your amazing opportunity in your team, and pick 25 to 30 people a month that you're going to engage with almost on a daily basis. Make an Excel spreadsheet, do a Trello board, whatever that looks like, because you will start showing up in their feed. And then you're going to go and do a Facebook Live. There is content creation for a Facebook Live. You do not want to be selling your product on a Facebook Live. There will be opportunities for that. But I want you to really think about, I'm going to be talking about a book that Zach Slobin asked us to get in the Platinum page and sharing that with you guys. And it's really allowed me to look at things different. I was never the person that sold on my social media. I was always the person offering value. I want you to think about Google as being your best friend. Think about questions that you ask. Maybe something that you've heard several of the moms in the pickup line asking, and offer some value back to that. I was talking to a friend yesterday about being a parent and how our kids want us to be real and they want us to show up authentic. They don't want it to see us perfect. And oftentimes we strive for perfection in our businesses as well. And your team needs to know that you're not, that you struggle in the same way. And I was telling another girlfriend, I said, it's really cool because I feel like I'm starting over because I'm learning all these fresh new things about social media and campaigning. Home meeting campaigns. So maybe for the month of February, you throw out that you have someone who is saying you're going to be doing 4, so 1 a week home meeting campaigns. This can look so different. You could do a muffins and mimosas get together with people, maybe some stay-at-home moms that are in your neighborhood. Go out and introduce yourself. And in our brand new neighborhood, I'm going to be going out with our 16-and-a-half-year-old. We're passing out flyers for her to babysit, and I'm going to be passing out my information for Isagenix and talking to them about coming in. I want to create a bunko group. We're going to be doing a women's Bible study and also a walking group for that neighborhood. So start to think about, do you know your neighbors? And are you really creating that place of everybody coming as a hub? And this doesn't have to be weird. Think about doing Rejuvenate sample kits at every place around a dining room table. Having some cucumber, you could use some essence line, and doing a spa facial day where you invite all of your girlfriends over, or maybe some team members and they all invite someone over as well. And I just want to go back to this and say something. If you're on this call and you're like, I'm not the home party type, I want to encourage you, nothing, and this was reiterated again, nothing beats belly to belly. And if you're not willing to have people in your home, I just really want to inspire you and just ask you, where would you be willing to meet them? Is it at a coffee shop? Could you go to a hotel and do it in the entryway because it costs you nothing? So if that's your tripping point, then figure out a place that you can meet with people and have regular events, and that our people are coming and they're feeling really valued. Okay, so this is another one that's kind of like a ring the bell something. You guys could have a crazy cowbell, and every time someone gets 5 connections, 5 friends added to their Facebook or social media, 5 added to the product page, they just get to go live and read this obnoxious bell. Everyone's going to be like, why are they ringing the bell? And it brings awareness. It builds, just that reinforcement of what is so important for your KPIs and why you want to continue to do it. And I will tell you, we were listening to a gentleman who is going to earn $3 million this year in network marketing. And he has 5 different profiles, and that made me want to break out in hives. So I was like, how do you do 5 profiles? He goes into different groups and he's never selling. So he's not posting a before and after. You all, he is going in and actively connecting. He's a man in network marketing. He loves fast cars. He's probably a part of 60 plus fast car groups. He goes in and offers them such value. They come back to his personal profile and they're so intrigued with what he does in his lifestyle. He then can now enroll them. And I want you guys to think about, are you doing that? Are you creating those authentic connections? And I could sit there and go, oh my gosh, that makes me want to break out in hives. But his intentionality, someone asked, how do you really track all of that? He has an Excel spreadsheet, and it tells him what group he posted in, what he posted, who he interacted with, so he can track that. He tracks his on-purpose relationships. Are you tracking your friends? Are you a professional friend maker? This, I'm excited. I'm totally implementing into our team. And it doesn't mean that I have to buy everybody's lunch. So I just need you to hear me say that, because I'm not. Luncheons are 1 time a month. Everyone gets to invite a friend, and it's a $10 lunch. And the best days to make this work are Thursdays and Fridays. And so you want to equip your leaders to invest into their business and invest into others. So this is a perfect model to do that. In this luncheon, you could have everybody share their 30-second elevator story, their 60-second story. And what this creates is the ability to give them a platform and talk in front of a small group of people. No matter if anybody enrolls or not, this is now creating community. It's giving them an opportunity to stand up and practice their story. It's also giving other people exposure to what it's like to really build alongside of other people. And that is really key. I'm doing a tools campaign. I can't tell you how many people, even in this company, who are top leaders who are currently not using the ISA Sales app. I was talking to another one who was at the event, and I was like, you will grow when you make your decision to grow, because you're doing it the old school way and it's taking you forever. What is it going to take for you to dive in and learn the tool? Because I didn't learn it until I actually started using it. So stop waiting for someone else to teach you. Do a campaign around it. You know what, everybody, I want you guys to do a training video on how you use the ISA Sales Tools app. What do you find helpful? What do you find useful? And what do you wish it had? This is how you use the ISA Life app, and this is how you enroll people really quickly in the vision and in this opportunity, because I want you to remember something. How you get someone started is how easy they're going to think it is, and that app is a total game changer. It is so simple. You need to have the proper verbiage and let them know, listen, I've customized Built a Cart for you. Has every flavor in the packaging that you had desired. All you need to do is walk through, input your information, make sure if you're in Arizona, you click on Will Call, and as soon as I get that, hey, you've got your order, I'm going to send you videos, I'm going to send you some more content for you to take a look at, and then we're going to schedule a time where we can finish your enrollment and go in and flip you to an opportunity for you to actually bank all of your own dollars that you're spending at your wholesale wellness super center called Isagenix. This is really important, you guys, how you get someone started. I'm just totally recreating how we enroll someone in the vision and how we help get them started. So do a tools campaign. Some of the other tools that people don't know how to use because life is busy and we haven't trained it, and I'll be the first one to take ownership of that, is how do you use the product page? What do you tag people in as soon as you add them into it? Why is it important to include a picture? Why do you want to have people with their faces in that page? Somebody said something to me in our social media coaching that I was doing the other day, and he said, Tanya, why do you think billboards have faces on them? And I just had an aha moment. People want to see pictures of you. They want to see pictures of other people because we are a real opportunity with real people who are having real results. So do some tool campaigns. Teach someone how to use the tool of Instagram. Teach someone how to do a Facebook Live campaign. Product sample campaigns. I want to talk about this, and I'm going to give you guys an idea. As everybody's going back to the gym, this is prime time to help people get started in Isagenix. Not only do I take my own shaker cup with a whole thing of ice and water, but I take a second one. And when I'm done and I'm shaking up my delicious chocolate shake afterwards, my goal is to make somebody else in my class a shake. I want them to try it, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to take your container. I'm like, girlfriend, take it. I'll see you tomorrow at the next class, because I'm intentional and I'm attending the same classes over and over again. So set the intention, get out from behind your computer. Also, if you put together like a campaign for social media, think about all these missiles going out to all this family, all these people that don't necessarily live next to you, and you're branching out and you're gifting something. You can simply say, hey, do you have 5 minutes? I sent you a package in the mail, and I'm really excited to go over a couple of things because I know that this is the time of year everybody's looking to make a shift in their health. Would you have 5 minutes? Awesome. What time works best for you? Give them 3 options, and then ask them for their email, send them a calendar invite, and then get them on and walk them through what you sent them. March Manager Factory campaign. You don't have to wait till March to do this, but this is an idea to kind of play off of March Madness. So March Madness Manager Factory, you can do all sorts of different things, but the fundamental rank advancement in our company for you to have massive success is helping managers. And one of the things that Eric talked about, and we talked about it last year at the Influencer Summit also, was bringing awareness to the managers. Are you celebrating people big, like massively, like huge in your business pages when they get to manager? And why is it so important to do this? So think about how you could do it, what you could send out. And people, I just want you guys to know, people do backflips for just a simple way to go card in the mail. It costs you 29, is that 29 cents, I think, that would be that somebody, I think that's what a stamp is. I'm not quite sure. All right, the next one I want to talk about is international campaigning. Think of who you could say, who do you know in another country? List out the countries that Isagenix is a part of and ask for referrals. Really talk about, my goal is for this month for everybody to at least get 5 international enrollments. If you start spreading brand awareness, you start talking about, oh my goodness, this is why you need to have, it's one cycle, you guys. One cycle buys you international sponsorship in Isagenix. That's it. And when you have it, you have the opportunity to have all the international volume roll up. We are now, I've got a girlfriend of ours that is going to Scotland. She has connections in Australia. We have people that are like so fired up about going global and bring awareness to it because we're not talking about it like what we used to. This is one of my favorites. Amanda Larson has little tiny bags that she got. They're jewelry bags from Hobby Lobby, and she custom printed out labels. You can do this at avery.com, I believe is what it is. Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. And you can tell them how to use it, but go to the gym and give somebody 3 days of this pre-workout and tell them to call you on day 4 when they don't have it, because their workout's gonna suck, like real bad. So give them 3 samples. It doesn't cost you a lot of money, and you can make those sample bags look super professional. Okay, an oil a day campaign. I'm gonna talk about how you can utilize this in not only your personal social media, but also educating people out in your product pages, in your business pages using stories, because it's not something that we are really training on and talking on, and it is free advertising. It's like this beautiful infomercial that's coming across, and people are utilizing stories more and more. So think about our box of Essence essential oil. If you guys wanted to do some fun giveaways and really do some awareness around it, how could you do this with you and your teams to help build baskets, bring awareness, etc.? Okay, so get Facebook stories. If you guys aren't using these, you're missing out so big. They're the little stories when you go into like the messenger or the homepage that live at the top, as well as Instagram stories. So here's what I want you guys to know. These give you exposure to people who are not already following you. Make sure your location is listed in your profile and tag your video with your location if possible. Instagram will show your video to people in your area. This is so important, and nobody's talking about it. It builds trust for the people who are following you already and encourage you to try your services or products. This is how I have been fishing, and this is how I am catching prospects and turning them into customers. It's so important. When you post a news story, it notifies people who have updates enabled right away. That's another key story. It can be a source of website traffic. When you are under 10K subscribers on Instagram, you can't directly link a website with Instagram stories, but you can place text with website address on the video and verbally push people to visit your website. When you reach 10,000 subscribers, you can put links in the websites in your Instagram stories. And then number 5, if you don't have time to always go live or record content, use pre-recorded content in the meantime. You can use free apps on your social media or on your iPhone, and then go ahead and save them and have it in a folder where you could just start uploading it to your stories. Again, this is setting the intention and strategizing for your opportunity. So I want to show you one that I made. We had a photo shoot at our home by a really amazing photographer. For those of you who don't know, also our daughter Ashley does photography, so I've been utilizing her a lot, which is awesome. She gets to earn some cash, and we get to have some really awesome photography. So this was how I added it to our stories. Now I added this to our product pages without my contact information, the last 2 slides, but you can see it's actually people who are utilizing Isagenix, who are enjoying it. I asked the question, what would up-leveling your health mean to you? You can also ask little questions where people can interact with it as well. I think that's really key. Cut Story is in here, and iMovie are splitting video. That's so awesome. Thank you guys so much for saying those. So if you guys have any questions about the apps, make sure you're checking out the chat. This was the rest of the story that I made. So I talked about our daily nutritional insurance. I also talked about dense, nutritious meals. And I want people always to be within, I want to be always within brand. So I'm always talking to people about, my belief system as well. So I love that I can talk about my faith in Isagenix. I think that is just really key for me and my growth. And then I talked about how simple it is. And again, I left these 2 slides out of that story. I said, it's really simple. We connect. I build your customized cart with ultimate savings for you. This includes your flavor choices of all your premium nutrition. Number 2, I send you a quick link and you input your information. Your order will be shipped to you ASAP. It's that simple. So I want people to know this is so easy and I'm going to serve them super well. And then I finish it off with make yourself a priority and let's connect to help get you set up for success. So 2 books I want to leave you with. This was I was talking with a gal who I'm going to be combining and being an ambassador with for her company alongside of what we do because it goes hand in hand. It's a local company. I'm so excited to work alongside. She asked me today, she said, Tanya, have you ever read the book, Hug Your Customers? I said, no, but I remember that I had a lady come in one time when we were doing our health and wellness event, which by the way, you guys, we do events at our home every month. We do every week team meetings that are Mastermind Mondays, and we also do business trainings. So our house is like continually filled with people, and I hug every single person that comes in our door. I remember hugging a lady, and she kind of broke down in my arms. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I should have asked permission. I just hugged you. And she said, no, my husband's been deployed for 3 months, and no one has touched or hugged or loved on me. And I said, well, in that case, honey, come on in. And I just rock-a-bied her, and we just like held bear hug. So I want you to understand, loving people well is good business. So I'll be purchasing this book right alongside of you guys. I'd love to hear any messages after you get it and what you think about it. It is still the proven way to personalize sales and achieve abounding results. And it is all about serving your customers, and people will watch and do what your feet do, not what your lips do. I'm going to leave you with this. This is a book that Zach Slobin asked us to all get. He said, you can't be seen until you learn to see. And this really just embarks what marketing is. And I wanted to give you a little bit of chunks with this and talk to you about what is so exciting. Marketing isn't just selling soap. When you give a TED Talk, you're marketing. When you ask your boss for a raise, you're marketing. When you raise money for the local playground, you're marketing. And yes, when you're trying to grow your division at work, that's marketing too. For a long time during the days when marketing and advertising were the same thing, marketing was reversed for vice presidents with a budget. It's now for you. That gave me total chills. I love when he said, how to know if you have a marketing problem. You aren't busy enough. Your ideas aren't spreading. The community around you isn't what it could be. The people you care about aren't achieving everything they hoped. Your political needs more votes, or your politician needs more votes. Your work isn't fulfilling. Your customers are frustrated. If you see a way to make things better, you now have a marketing problem. So I want to just encourage you, how are you growing yourself? Jeremy and I have agreed that we are going to continually set aside a budget every year to grow ourselves. And the first and foremost this is getting yourselves in the seat at events. NYKO is now sold out. So I want to encourage you guys, don't let another event go by that you don't have at least 10 to 20, potentially 50. As you're growing, every year you should have more and more people going to events. You should be campaigning around it, talking about it, having team t-shirts with it. It's important, and I know that life is busy and I've fallen short in this at several times and in several ways. So I want you to know everything I shared with you guys tonight. This is why we are going to continually come alongside. They're all things I need to work on. So please know that I'm not coming to a place and saying, hey man, I figured this all out. It was so inspiring because I had tracks to run on. And I just want to thank you guys for listening to some ideas. I hope that you're able to implement them and that you feel fired up for 2019. Trisha, I think you're so muted.
I figured it out. Do we want to stop share screen? Let's see here.
Oh, yes, sorry.
No,
Let me grab that out really fast.
Yep. Beautiful. Guys, oh my gosh, Tanya, you just gave so much value. I know I'm watching faces. I don't think anybody's really overwhelmed. That was just so much. So please, guys, you're going to want to watch this recording. I know you were taking mad notes. Everybody's faces were down the whole time. But I will just tell you that one of the keys to not going into overwhelm is to focus on the single target. And Tanya actually gave a great training on that a while ago. It was like last year, right, Tanya? On seeing the target, hitting the target. And so right now, as she was sharing all of that, it's amazing how I don't go into overwhelm very often because my target is so solid. And everything she just shared is just incredible gifts, literally gifts, tools, ideas to help you hit that target. All right. And so please go back and watch the recording because I really feel like you're going to get some great ideas for 2019. Not often do people get on a call like this and share so much content that you can literally just use for your business growth. So Tanya, thank you so much. I'm excited for Trello, so I gotta give Amanda a big hug when I see her. That's amazing. Good stuff. All right, guys. Love you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Have a great night.
Yep. Good night, guys. Good night, everyone.